So technically this is an old story, but as it concerns my girl, Lana Del Rey, it is always relevant, always newsworthy. Here's the deal. Apparently, sometime in February, Lana Del Rey participated in putting a hex on Donald Trump, as if she wasn't already the baddest bitch alive. Here's what went down. Back in February, Lana Del Rey tweeted her support for joining witches in putting a spell on President Trump. Now, this was a Facebook event that got shared around. There were a couple different things that you had to do on different days, different items to collect. But this is the descriptor that the page put about this particular hex. This is not the equivalent of magically punching a Nazi. Rather, it is ripping the bullhorn from his hand, smashing his phone so he can't tweet, tying him up and throwing him in a dark basement where he can't hurt anyone. Well, that escalated quickly. That went from smashing his phone to tying him up. I mean, one is like kind of it's an inconvenience, like gotta fix my phone screen.
And the next is a crime.
Yeah, the other is a straight up crime. When asked about this in a recent interview, now this is how it got drummed up with NME, Lana Del Rey had the best response. She says, quote, "Yeah, I did it, why not? Look, I do a lot of shit."
I mean, what else needs to be said, truly?
It's so good. This was a spell that a whole bunch of witches participated in, and some people are saying this is so weird, this is so hateful. This was her explanation of participating in this spell. She said, quote, "I'm in line with Yoko Ono and John Lennon and the belief that there is a power to the vibration of a thought. Your thoughts are very powerful things and they become words, and words become actions, and actions lead to physical changes." Now, while I would not identify as a witch myself, nor have I ever done any spells of sort, there's something about this story that I think is kind of cool. Because while some people are saying it's very hateful towards our current president, very disrespectful, one, people are going to have been disrespectful in some way, shape, or form to every single president. You think that witches haven't cast a spell on every single president? Witches are low key, okay? They don't advertise it all the time. This was just one that we found out about. I also think it's pretty harmless. It is just sort of it sounds like it's the power of thought, something that she wanted to channel. How are you going to find anything wrong with that?
Yeah, I mean, personally, I don't find anything wrong with it. There's not. Hello, Willie.
My dog is in the studio today.
I mean, she's not physically hurting anybody. Do I think that celebrities kind of have some sort of obligation to be a good example?
Ooh,
yes.
You do? So you think this is a bad example?
You know what? No, because she's not physically doing something. She's just like, look, I don't like the president.
Darren, she lit an orange candle.
Oh shit.
That's action.
She lit an orange candle. Yeah. Also, something funny about that is that it said if you didn't have an orange candle, you could use a little baby carrot. So, just for your future hex purposes, you can use a baby
questions
carrot.
On that.
I know.
You can't.
I know. I was like, how do you light it?
How do you light a baby carrot?
Anyways, yeah, I think celebrities have somewhat of an obligation to be a good example. However, in this case, I don't think it's necessarily a bad example. Maybe it's because I love Lana Del Rey and hate Donald Trump. Could have something to do with it.
It could kind of color our thoughts on this a little bit because it's true. I love Lana Del Rey. I think she's so cool, and I think that her sort of it's very live and let live, no fucks given attitude is something I've always really responded to. And I just think that because she is publicly saying that she participated in a spell, and this is maybe very sacrilegious, it doesn't sound that different than stuff that Christians do in prayer. The other day I was at church and it was a Catholic service and there was a guy just swinging around a steaming pot of something fragrant. That's very witchy. It's not the church that I was raised in, but he was on a big metal thing, just like swinging it, almost like it looked like something from Game of Thrones, like a weapon.
What church do you go to?
Well, there was a Catholic service.
Okay,
but it was a Catholic service, and it was cool, and you feel something for it, but it reminds me maybe the fragrant baby carrots that people were burning, it's not that dissimilar.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I totally agree with that. Totally.
So I think this is pretty harmless, but some people hate it, and if you are one of those people, we actually would very much like to hear from you in the comment section below. Let's talk about it. Are you a big Lana Del Rey fan? I know I should have worn my Lana Del Rey shirt today. Damn it, Grace. Once in your life, you have one job. Just let's talk about this story. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and we will see you next time on Pop Trigger.